Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, that was a lot to deal with right there, but okay. On the Ebony K situation, I'm kind of in line with what Cartel was saying about that. That's her preference, you know. Do I agree with her preference? I mean, it's not really for me to agree with, but I feel like a lot of women um, narrow their focus so much and they overprice their market value to the extent to where they will end up like our brother Kevin Samuel said they will end up. So there'll be dog shopping, cat shopping, and stuff like that. Passing up guys based on superficial um, analysis of that person. I know plenty of bus drivers, and bus driving ain't the only thing they got going on, but that's what they'll tell you. We have a lot of black men that operate like that. We don't necessarily wear our economies and our financial status on our sleeve because we know the way the game is played here in America, right? So that's why I have an issue with sisters here in America trying to paint this narrative that women overseas want us for our money, as if they don't want us for the same benefits. We understand that as men, we're gonna have to bring something to the table, if not bring everything to the table, and we cool with that, right? So this issue, this pushback that we get, brothers like Charles get, and things of that nature, is kind of asinine in my opinion. But I see where it's coming from. When you come from a demographic that believes they can have any man they want when they want them, and they treat men as um, tools for their own, gratification, or um, for whatever reason they have, they treat men as tools and objects to be used and tossed away. That's why you have so many single mothers with several different baby fathers, because they have tossed away their children's father. And they, for whatever reason, for whatever frivolous reason they choose to get rid of him rather than to focus on building the family that they started. And that's the difference between women in the West. A lot of them, not speaking on all, but most, and women overseas. Women overseas tend to value family. They tend to stick with the decisions they make when it comes to family, especially who they start a family with. And it would take hell or high water for them to walk out of the life of a man who they chose to start a family with. Whereas here, it depends on how she feels. It depends on the weather. It depends on what outfit she want to wear that day. That's how they treat relationships here in the West, and they have the right to do that. That's their choice. That's their preference, and they have to deal with the results of that. You know, so there's absolutely no need to minimize a man's decision for going overseas, and for whatever reason they choose to connect with a woman from overseas. Everyone makes decisions in their life based off the experiences they had in their life.
May I chime in about the overseas
Hold on,
part?
hold on, bro. You
Uh,
have to wait your turn, man. You have to wait your turn.
Everyone in life uses their experiences in life to make their decisions going forward in life. You can call it trauma bond, you can call it whatever you want to do, but people like to associate themselves with like minded individuals. Only a small group of women think it's okay to, no, I'm not going to say small, a significant group of women think it's okay to deal with people that they are polar opposites with, that they never agree with. That's something I never understood about over here in the West. How people complain about people they choose to bring in their life rather than just bring someone else better into your life. That's something you cannot get around. If I go shopping and I pick a ripped garment from the rack and I see that it has rips, I see this, I see that it's a defective garment, but yes, I still buy it because is cheap or whatever for whatever reason, and bring it home, and all I can do is complain about how this garment is not up to my standard. Well, who set that standard, and who chose to choose something below their own standards? You know, it's real crazy how people think here in the West. And I'm not just saying it's the women. A lot of men do the same thing. You know, they choose women who are in the streets, women who live in a certain lifestyle, not conducive to family and a solid relationship or a marriage, and then they complain that this woman didn't change the way they wanted them to change. You know, it's real crazy, and I see why anyone would look outside of this culture because it's too toxic. You know, it's too detrimental to traditional ideals and morality and family structure. Like, it's really like the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life, you know. And to the notion that the guys who do go these, they lack some type of ability to get women over here, that's another asinine view, because the standards to get women here are the lowest standards on the planet. Like, literally. Men in prison are getting women here in America. Men with absolutely nothing get women here in America. They get professional women. They get educated women. They get what seems like some of the best women are gotten by some men who, you know, you were like, why is she with him? But that's the thing about it. We don't choose relationships based on what is good for that relationship or family. We choose relationships based off, you know, how a person looks, how a person say that you shouldn't choose someone who's attractive to you, but you should add other attributes to that. We choose people for the most frivolous reasons. And I say we, I'm not segregating myself from this society, at least not right now. But once I leave, I'll be totally segregated from it. But that's what we do here. And that's something that no one can refute. We don't take relationships and family as serious as we should. And the blame game is needed to find out what is the issue. Like, how are you going to find out the issue if you don't point it out? How are you going to find the issue out if you don't isolate it? You know what I'm saying? So it's only people who are to blame that don't want the blame game played. Men, we really don't worry about the blame game. We know where we are the problem. We know that. We recognize that, you know. But for some reason, a lot of women just don't want anyone pointing the fingers at women for anything. And for the sister, last sister spoke, talking about we black women have been at the forefront protecting black men. That has never been the case in the history of humanity, where black women were at the forefront protecting black men as if we were cowering behind them for their protection. Maybe the children, but that's only after the man has not been. But the reason he's not there is because of them. Like, colonialism didn't remove the man from the household. Slavery didn't do it. Jim Crow didn't do it. Segregation didn't do it. Women did that.